Golden Bachelor Mel Owens must pay nearly $1 million to ex. July 6, 2025. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bachelor Nation News fans. Scorned Golden Bachelor Mel Owens must pay nearly $1 million to his ex. He has come under fire from fans and viewers for age discrimination. Therefore, it is unclear what his future with the show will hold. So why does he have to pay up? Keep reading for more details. Mel Owens must pay nearly $1 million to ex. The inaugural season of The Golden Bachelor featured Jerry Turner, but ended badly. Although he proposed to Theresa Nist at the end of their journey, their marriage lasted just a few months. It was scary when The Golden Bachelorette premiered, as viewers did not want Joan Vassos to suffer the same fate. She seems very happy, and fans have picked some men from her season to follow in Jerry's footsteps. Yet, when casting began, many of the top men were spoken for. Enter Mel Owens, a former NFL pro and lawyer who was cast for season 2. There were questions of whether he was the right choice, but at the end of the day, the show would go on. Unfortunately for Mel, he spoke out of line, which rubbed people the wrong way. He stated that he would not date anyone over 60 when he is 66. That has led to him possibly being axed. But at the same time, it has come out that he owes his ex nearly $1 million. Mel was married to Fabiana Owens, 46, for nearly 2 decades, and then they split in 2020. Their divorce was finalized in 2024 after a long battle. Since she is only 46, it makes sense that Mel has a very strict age restriction for The Golden Bachelor. However, it does not work for the show, the title, or the viewers to see how shallow he is. As for Fabiana, she declined any financial support from Mel. Yet he was ordered to pay his ex, with whom he shares 2 children, $980,000. This was to be paid on or before February 28, 2025. Why this amount? If Mel Owens was not paying Fabiana Owens any alimony, what was with the high amount? Apparently, the Golden Bachelor has to pay nearly $1 million for back child and spousal support. Furthermore, the division of property and assets was also included in this amount. Now, the tricky part was how much the couple claimed to be making. Although Mel is a lawyer, he stated that his income was $1,000 per month. However, Fabiana allegedly raked in nearly $7,000 per month. Therefore, she was in a far better financial situation than he was, which is likely why he joined a reality television show. It seems the debt has been paid, but Fabiana will likely make it known if he owes any more. Are you hoping that the Golden Bachelor is replaced? Or do you want to see Mel Owens' journey? Moreover, can you believe what he owed his ex? And do you feel he only makes $1,000 per month? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Must pay nearly $1 million to ex. The shocking truth behind the settlement. The last rose had barely wilted before the lawsuits bloomed. For millions of devoted viewers, Mel Owens was the silver-haired charmer who brought elegance, wit, and a touch of mischief to the Golden Bachelor. With his deep voice, well-fitted suits, and poetic proclamations about second chances in love, the 62-year-old retired NFL linebacker turned financial advisor had captivated the hearts of women nationwide, and especially the contestants vying for his affection. But just as the final episode aired, where Mel proposed to soft-spoken piano teacher Eleanor Reid, placing a golden ring on her trembling hand beneath a cascade of confetti, a scandal broke that changed everything. The fantasy crumbles. 3 days after the final, TMZ dropped the headline that stopped Bachelor Nation in its tracks. XXLUSIV, Golden Bachelor star Mel Owens ordered to pay $973,000 to ex-wife in quiet legal battle he kept from producers. Suddenly, Mel wasn't the nation's sweetheart. He was the man who had been hiding the nearly $1 million legal storm, and fans were furious. Wait, didn't he say he was fully healed from past relationships? One Reddit user wrote, "He literally told Eleanor his heart had no lingering baggage," another replied. Turns out he had a whole Samsonite set. Who is Cassandra Owens? To understand the chaos, one had to rewind to Cassandra Owens, Mel's ex-wife of 27 years, who had remained entirely absent from the show's narrative. Cassandra wasn't just any ex. She had once been Mel's agent, financial advisor, and public relations strategist. According to her court testimony, she had built Mel's post-NFL career from scratch, turning his modest retirement fund into a multi-million-dollar real estate empire. I was there before the cameras, before the red roses, before the Instagram fame, Cassandra said in court, her voice cracking during a recorded deposition. According to the lawsuit filed just months before Mel joined the Golden Bachelor, Cassandra claimed she was owed nearly $1 million in unpaid profits, mismanaged assets, and broken verbal agreements. She alleged Mel promised her equity in his consulting firm, only to quietly push her out after their divorce was finalized in 2020. He sold me dreams, Cassandra said. Now I want what's mine. A Bachelor Nation betrayal. The question swirling on everyone's lips. Did the show know? Producers at ABC claimed they ran standard background checks, but the timeline was suspicious. The lawsuit had been filed just 6 weeks before casting, and insiders whispered that producers may have deliberately ignored the situation to avoid losing their first Golden Bachelor. He had the perfect story. Widowed, romantic, charismatic, an anonymous former crew member told Us Weekly. Of course, the network didn't want to scrap that. But Mel's version of events told a different tale. In an Instagram live streamed days after the news broke, a pale and shaken Mel addressed his followers directly. I did not deceive anyone. This legal issue is rooted in a misunderstanding that I thought was resolved privately. I've never hidden anything intentionally, certainly not from Eleanor. But Bachelor Nation wasn't buying it. Eleanor Wright breaks her silence. In the days following the scandal, Eleanor Wright vanished from the spotlight. Her Instagram page went dark, no interviews, no social media updates. Rumors swirled that she had gone back to Ohio, abandoning their engagement. Then a Surprise People magazine exclusive dropped. I found out like everyone else, Eleanor said, sipping tea in a quiet Cincinnati cafe. From the headlines, Eleanor's heartbreak was palpable. We had talked about honesty and trust every single night in the mansion. I told him I had been cheated on before. I needed transparency. And still, he never mentioned Cassandra. When asked about their relationship status, Eleanor hesitated. We're taking a pause, she admitted. I need space to think. I don't know if I'm ready to marry a man who hides lawsuits in his sock drawer. Cassandra's side of the story. While Mel kept a stoic silence after his Instagram apology, Cassandra Owens was just getting started. In a Bombshell sit-down interview with Diane Sawyer, Cassandra shared receipts, literally. Handwritten letters from Mel, financial spreadsheets, audio recordings of promises made late at night after a bottle of wine, and years of emotional labor. He didn't just owe me money, she said. He owed me acknowledgement, respect, closure. Diane asked if she had watched Mel on The Golden Bachelor. I watched every episode, Cassandra said, not out of spite, but because I loved him once, and I needed to see the man he became. Unfortunately, it was a stranger. She also denied rumors that her lawsuit was about revenge or publicity. I didn't want this, but when he went on national TV pretending like I never existed, I had to protect myself and my truth. The courtroom climax. The legal battle reached its climax in a Santa Monica courtroom, where Mel and Cassandra faced off for the first time in over 2 years. The judge's ruling was swift. Mel Owens is ordered to pay $973,125.43 to Cassandra Owens in compensatory damages, including interest, legal fees, and asset division back payments. Mel's lawyers nodded grimly. Cassandra burst into tears. Outside the courthouse, paparazzi clamored for quotes. Cassandra simply said, I don't feel like I've won. I just feel free. Mel, stone-faced and tired, whispered only one word before ducking into a black SUV. Devastating. Love on pause. As of now, Mel and Eleanor remain unofficially separated. Sources close to Eleanor say she returned her engagement ring, though she did keep the custom-embroidered robe from the fantasy suite. She said it was the only part of that experience that felt real, a friend told ET. Fans are divided. Some sympathize with Eleanor. Others accuse Mel of manipulating the narrative, and a very vocal group believes producers exploited all of them for ratings. But perhaps the most surprising development came from Cassandra herself. She announced a book deal titled Behind the Rose, Loving the Man America Didn't Know. Set for release next spring, it promises a raw, emotional account of her years with Mel. I'm not a villain, she said in the announcement. I'm just the woman who loved him before the world did. The franchise's fallout. ABC's top executives didn't waste time issuing a statement. While we were unaware of Mr. Owens' ongoing legal proceedings during the casting process, We are conducting an internal review to ensure such omissions don't occur again. But Bachelor Nation wasn't impressed. Hashtags like hashtag Goldenly, hashtag Justice for Leaner, and hashtag Cassandra Deserved Better began trending. Fan forums exploded with debates over how a senior dating series meant to offer wisdom and authenticity could have missed such glaring red flags. Even Jess Palmer, the host of the franchise, was forced to weigh in. What happened was disappointing. I think a lot of us were rooting for Mel, but transparency is everything. It was clear. This wasn't just a scandal. This was a reckoning. Mel retreats from the spotlight. Mel, once enthusiastic about expanding his media brand, from a podcast titled Golden Hour with Mel to a wine label featuring Rose Blush Chardonnay, suddenly went dark. Gone were the press interviews, the Instagram posts, the flashy Hamptons getaway selfies with Eleanor. Instead, he was seen jogging alone on Malibu beaches. Sources claimed he'd checked into a private wellness retreat. He was devastated, a close friend shared anonymously. He didn't just lose the money, he lost Eleanor. He lost control of the narrative. Some insiders speculate Mel had pitched a reality spinoff, Golden Redemption, where he would mentor men over 50 on dating and emotional growth. But those plans are indefinitely postponed. Eleanor's rise. While Mel disappeared, Eleanor thrived. The quiet pianist turned reality favorite became a guest host on The View, penned an op-ed for Oprah Daily titled Loving Again After Being Lied To, and launched a nonprofit offering relationship support for women over 50. I wanted to turn pain into something empowering, she said during her keynote speech at the Women Over 50 conference in Chicago. Because when you heal out loud, you help others quietly heal too. Eleanor's strength inspired viewers, especially older women who saw themselves in her journey. From the ashes of heartbreak, she became a symbol of grace, wisdom, and power. Cassandra and Eleanor meet. In a shocking twist, Cassandra and Eleanor met in person. The exclusive aired on Good Morning America, billed as two women, one man, a conversation America didn't expect. They hugged awkwardly but warmly. What followed was 22 minutes of candid conversation, tears, and surprising laughter. I think we were both lied to in different ways, Eleanor said. I never hated you, Cassandra replied. I hated that he used both of us as stepping stones. By the end, both women shared mutual respect. The internet exploded with love for the unlikely sisterhood. Hashtag Cassandra was born. The reunion no one expected. Months passed. Then ABC announced a surprise, the Golden Bachelor tell-all 1 year later. Every contestant, every controversy, one couch. Mel walked in last, the crowd murmured. Eleanor gave him a nod. Cassandra didn't attend. Mel took a breath, leaned into the microphone. I thought I had to be perfect to be loved, but maybe love only finds you when you're real, even if you're broken. There was a pause, then applause. Some viewers felt moved, others rolled their eyes. But for the first time, Mel Owens didn't sound like a media-trained bachelor. He sounded like a man who finally understood the cost of secrets. Where are they now? Mel Owens relocated to Arizona. He's reportedly dating again quietly and attending therapy regularly. His memoir, Playing Defense, Love, Loss, and Lessons at 60, is set for release next year. Eleanor Reid now tours the country playing concerts while promoting her nonprofit. She's dating a literature professor she met at a poetry reading. Cassandra Owens runs a women's wealth management firm and consults for TV networks on representation in reality television. Her book remains a bestseller, and The Golden Bachelor, still airing, but with stricter vetting and a new motto. True love has no age, but honesty is timeless. This wasn't just a scandal. It was a cautionary tale, a reminder that behind the glitter of roses and fantasy suites lie real people, real pain, and real consequences. Mel Owens may have captured America's heart, but in the end, it was the women he hurt and their resilience that left the lasting impression. And maybe, just maybe, that was the real love story all along.